Hello everyone, my name is David Serpa and welcome to my first ever video blog. I am doing this video blog for my class IDS-403, Preparing for the Future. A little bit about myself. I'm a computer information technology major at the school, and I also work in the information technology field as a Linux system administrator. And I'm going to try to speak up a little bit because my microphone doesn't pick up very well, so hopefully you guys can hear me. So the first video blog asks us to select a technology and analyze how it is a product of social construction as well as how it influences social relations. The technology that I've chosen is artificial intelligence, and I think that it's a great technology to talk about how it entwines with the social aspects, especially in this class, is because artificial intelligence is something that we've always wanted. It's something that's arriving now. It's ingrained in our everyday lives, and it's something that people fear as well because of movies like Blade Runner or 2001: Space Odyssey, and things like that. Alright, so I'm going to read through these really quick just to give you an idea of what I want to talk about. So the things I want to talk about is describe how a technology is socially constructed. Identify the technology that you've selected and how human actions help shape the technology. Where did the technology come from? Describe the meaning ascribed to the technology by one or more social groups, and describe how the technology affects social relationships. Identify how technology is shaping the way people behave. Describe at least one conflict between humans and the technology you selected. That one should be easy. And describe the implications of conflict on people's relationships with one another. How might it affect social relations and human behavior? Okay, so I'm going to go through these and I'll talk a little bit through them as I do. Alright, so under the first bullet, describe how the technology is socially constructed. We have A, identify the technology, which is artificial intelligence, and then where did the technology came from? It's artificial. We've made it. So it's made by human. We've played God, and we've created this thing. Someday, artificial intelligence may be created by artificial intelligence, and then maybe will be surpassed. Who knows? And that's where science fiction is now, but could be truth in the near future. So the meaning ascribed to the technology by one or more social groups. So artificial intelligence, I think historically has been thought of as something that is in robots or manufactured humans. Think Blade Runner or Terminator movies. However, I think how we're actually seeing artificial intelligence is something much greater, and to give reference to the Wired article that the video that we watched from the Wired, I think it was the owner or one of the managers at Wired magazine did a TED talk, and he talked about how the internet is growing and it's becoming almost like a human brain with its wide grasp and the number of synapses and its intelligence. And I think artificial intelligence is actually going to look more like that when the internet becomes aware, self-aware, and then it makes its own improvements. It's already doing some of that now with algorithms that we've created. However, there's going to be a point where it crosses over into its own calculations to fix itself, improve itself, and then create its own AI on top of what it already has. Give it life. It's not there yet, but I think that's where it's going. So the meaning, I think, that has been ascribed to it from social groups is that it's something that could potentially be dangerous but useful. Identify how the technology is shaping the way people behave. So we have on our phones Cortana, Siri, Alexa, if you're Amazon person, we talk to it. We ask it what the weather's going to be before we look at the Weather Channel, look at the news, listen to the radio. It's much easier to talk to those things, those artificial intelligences. Conflict between humans and the technology. There's a couple things that could be conflict, and it's more of, I think, decision making as far as social consequences. Where do we draw the line? I think that's the conflict that we have. It's more of a internal conflict. And then the last question in here is, describe the implications of the conflict on people's relationships with one another. How might it affect social relationships and human behavior? That's an easy one. If it's easy to talk to AI because you're not worried about it judging you, you're not worried about making a mistake in what you say. It's very forgiving, it's very accepting, currently at least. And again, it's there, it's easy. I can wake up in the morning, I can say, Alexa, what's the weather tomorrow? And she'll tell me what the forecast is for tomorrow. Alexa, stop. So, sorry for the interruption. I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to interact if I don't want to. And that can hurt social relationships with other human beings, because we become, to reference again back to the Wired video on the TED Talk, we become codependent with the technology, with the artificial intelligence, and we no longer require that human connection. We do require the human connection, but we no longer participate in the human connection. It's easy to lose those relationships that we actually do need. So I think this is going to be a great topic for the final discussion. I'm really looking forward to researching it and doing a deep dive, getting a lot of information. I think I'm going to tap into media, movies, because I think that's a good in history of AI. You know, going from Star Trek to what's out there now, it kind of shaped the technology and what we envisioned we wanted it to be, and now it also gave us cautionary tales to what we don't want it to be. So I'm looking forward to that, and see you guys next blog.